Good morning to everyone here in the sanctuary and on our Zoom room. Thank you so much for joining us this morning at Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. I offer my gifts, my time, my talents, my treasure. I offer my gifts with an open and generous heart. And I am changing the world. Yes, I am changing the world. And I am changing the world as the Holy is changing me. We offer our gifts, our time, our talents, our treasures. We offer our gifts with open and generous hearts. And we are changing the world. Yes, we are changing the world. We are changing the world as the Holy is changing us.
Good morning, everybody. So great to see everybody here this morning. Unity in the Rockies is an inclusive community. We welcome all people, races, gender, identities, and relational orientations. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. And now we're going to recite together our mission. We are an inclusive spiritual community where we recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. And now our vision. We are grounded in meditation, prayer, and healing, celebrating the Christ Spirit within all people, and with the thriving spirit of community and oneness, shall be a leading spiritual light throughout the Pikes Peak region and the world. Okay, and we have a few announcements up front today. There was going to be a prayer chaplain orientation, but that has been moved, and you can speak with Linda or Carol after the service, and they will fill you in on when it will continue. Our beautiful flower arrangement today was provided by Rick Finbow in recognition of our new order of service, which began this morning. Thank you, Rick. Please join us in Fellowship Hall after the service for the first of our full meals. Today we're featuring Taco Sunday with all the fixings. The suggested love offering is $5. Please sign up on the bulletin board for future Sundays of meal themes on the bulletin board. Join Dr. David and Rick for their Create Your Own Oracle Deck workshop after service today in the Fellowship Hall. There are a few spots left. You'll leave with a deck of your own creation. The energy exchange is $44, and you can pay at the door, and it will start at 12 and go until 2. Please plan to join us for our annual business meeting after service on March 19th. You will be receiving a letter and postcard to confirm your membership status. Welcome to the light on the mesa.
I'd like to invite you to join me in singing our song, Surely the Presence of God is in This Place. We'll sing this one twice through, but you'll see the lyrics on the screen, and if you're on Zoom, they're in the chat as well. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angel wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
Divine light shines in and through me. I start every morning by affirming the light of God is shining within me. This simple act reminds me I am a radiant spiritual being. I feel joyful and eager to share my divine light with everyone I meet. I am the light of God. In the past, I may have chosen to keep my light hidden, afraid to call too much attention to myself. I remember the words of the Master of Love, Jesus, from Matthew chapter 5, verses 15 through 16. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under the bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others. As I give the divine light within me, its illumination grows stronger. As I shine boldly and brightly, I ignite that same blessed spark within others so that we may join together in sharing God's light with the world. Oh, send out your light and your truth. Psalms 43:3.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." I hear babies crying. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than you and I will ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Mark trained me. Good morning. Well, my goodness, I'm not here for a week. I come back. Everything is different. You've got a new order of service. You've got a new platform. I'm going to have to keep my eye on you guys. It is indeed a wonderful world. For those of you who may be with us for the first time, my name is Dr. David Goldberg, and it's my great joy to serve this community as minister. And we welcome you. We welcome you wherever you are on your path. You are blessed, you are beautiful, and it's a joy to have you with us. And I bring you greetings from your friends, from your neighbors at Center for Spiritual Living, Colorado Springs. It was an honor to be with them last week, and I offered them your greetings. So hopefully we will see some more cross-pollination. What we know to be true is that we're all one. We're all different flavors of the same ice cream. And it's a grand, and a glorious thing. So thank you for stepping into this new order of service with us. Oh my goodness, so many bright minds, so many huge hearts, such high consciousness playing a role in co-creating this beautiful service that we are offering today. Ruby and I and River, we have the joy of being kind of the faces of this particular effort. And so many people and so much work has gone into this. And we are all just proud and humbled and joyful to be a part of that team. So if you've been with us for a bit, you know that our theme for this year is living out loud. And that is what we choose to do, regardless of our human characteristics. Some may call us introvert, some may call us extrovert, some may call us, And it's good, right? We know that God plus me is a majority. So that is what we get to step into. Whatever judgment the rest of the world might hold, we get to bless them and know that that's not our truth. So this year we are living out loud. Thank you for joining us in this effort. And this month, being the beginning of a new month, we are exploring curiosity as a superpower. That's kind of a fun icebreaker, depending what kind of a mood you're in at a party. Tell us your name and tell us your superpower. Well, how well do I know you people? And now you've got a safe fallback. You can say curiosity is my superpower. You're welcome. And today we're exploring what lies beneath the surface. So many of us are so engaging and so kind, and we love connecting with so many people. And I remember I've shared with you that I toured with a musical group up with people right out of high school. And so I turned 18 while I was on the road in Merritt, British Columbia, Canada. Yes, it's a hot spot. And it was pretty awesome. And So we toured for 6 months before we broke for Christmas. And we had people from 22 countries in our group. And our last show happened to be in Wyoming. And so my folks came up with a number of vehicles and an extended family and brought 11 of my friends home for Christmas. So for whatever reason, these folks either couldn't afford to get home for Christmas or didn't want to go home for Christmas or didn't celebrate Christmas. So among a number of my friends who joined us, we had Venka from Norway, and we had Mike from Hawaii, and it was just a really fun, eclectic Christmas. And Venka was significantly older. The age range for Up With People was 18 to 25, and Venka was 25. She had already been through university. Her father happened to be in the diplomatic corps, serving in Norway, and she spoke 5 languages fluently, and a few more that she would say less than fluent, and I am still struggling with English. Anyway, we were having a really good conversation. She said, David, I don't understand that part of Americans, that everybody in Up With People and everybody at our shows is so friendly and so happy, and everybody wants to, my words, not hers, join hands and sing Kumbaya. And the minute I try to have a conversation with anybody about anything of substance, then we go inside, then we decide how much we want to reveal about ourselves, how authentic we want to be. She said, I know people look at me as standoffish and aloof, and I said, and I love you, and that's on a good day. And she said, what we do as Europeans, and more specifically as Norwegians, we take our time getting to know people. So I don't put everything that I have out there the first time I meet you. We get to know each other, and we build our trust, and we build our faith, and we build our confidence along the way. And then once we're friends for life, right? So what I learned is there's no right or wrong in doing that. And that was part of the whole experience for me in diving deeper. So yeah, I got to continue who I was and hopefully be happy and show up and be a positive presence. And I got to not judge her for doing what worked for her. So what we know then is that which lies unseen beneath the surface has always been a mystery for us, both physically and metaphorically. For some, it brings forth a feeling of excitement when we enter into something new. And for a lot, the unknown is approached with fear. So today we dive through the fear to reveal the wonderment in the unknown and revel in the gifts that it brings. Any Brene Brown fans? Yeah, I think she's pretty extraordinary. I love her consciousness. I love her writing. This is from her work, The Gifts of Imperfection. I had to be with that a moment as a recovering perfectionist. The Gifts of Imperfection. She writes, faith is a place of mystery where we find the courage to believe in what we cannot see and the strength to let go of our fear of uncertainty. And that is what we do as people of faith. We get to trust in the unknown. We get to lean into that power, that presence, however we choose to define it, and know that all is going to be well. So what if we had the perspective that we live in a limitless universe and our experience is only limited by our beliefs and our perceptions? One of my first introductions, I'm a slow learner, I had a number of different introductions. One of my first introductions to New Thought was in a class called Beyond Limits. How cool is that? Whatever we think our limits are, whatever we think our limitations are, they are. And what if we stepped into that space of moving beyond our limits, of moving beyond our limitations? That is what we're talking about. Allowing fear to prevent us from following our curiosity into the unknown feeds the belief that the world is a scary place and that we are walking our path alone. When we lean into our faith and the knowingness that the divine is supporting and supplying our every need in all we do, we are free to seek out the beauty that lies beneath the surface. I love whitewater rafting. I do it about once every 10 years, and I still get to love it, right? And one of the first lessons that I learned as a novice when I went so many years ago is it's counterintuitive, and when you get thrown out of the raft, and you will get thrown out of the raft, don't try to swim your way out of it. Why put your head forward and use your head as a battering ram against all of the rocks along the way? Go feet first, go with the flow, let the current take you downstream where it's going to take you, and you have a much better chance of being safe, right? So now we've got life vests and we've got helmets, and back in the day, I wasn't that smart. So that was a first lesson in going with the flow. I also happen to be a scuba diver, and I love that sense of being underwater. Whether it's 20 feet or 30 feet, whether it's literally a deep dive of 80 or 90 or 100 feet, I love that feeling of suspension and that feeling of animation. Pema Chodron, Buddhist nun, writes, we can learn to meet whatever arises with curiosity and not make it such a big deal. Instead of struggling against the force of confusion, we should meet it and relax. Just like floating downstream feet first. I can try to swim and I can try to outpower all of the powers, or I can make a different choice and float feet first and choose grace and choose ease and trust and know that I'm going to be okay. So as we step into curiosity as a superpower then, curiosity is one of the most basic calls of life. It pulls us to learn about the world around us. Even as babies start to find their fingers and their toes, or a seafaring discoverer sets sail for lands unknown, the superpower of curiosity is stimulating the desire to know more. Sail for lands unknown. Seafaring discoverer. Were those cruise references? I digress. Lots of people were curious about our new order of service, and I'm so grateful for that. This is your community. You have a vested interest in what is formulated in an effort to support you on your spiritual path. I'm so grateful for everybody who participated in our town hall meeting to let us know what worked for you, to let us know what didn't work for you, to let us know what you were ready to release and what you were ready to embrace and call in. I loved that we had participants in our 2 Zoom meetings to talk about the details, to talk about what's on your heart, to share and to be engaged in the process of co-creation. And I'm so grateful for the 30 or 40 people who showed up yesterday to be a part of what today was going to look like. The devil isn't in the details, the angels are in the details. Let us be in that place of where we're going to sit and what we're going to say and where we're going to move and how technology is going to support us and how music supports the message. Let us create something beautiful and extraordinary and flawless. And it's not perfect. We're not after perfection. We're after constant evolution. So please continue to engage with us about what works and what doesn't work. Asking what or why and not accepting just because becomes the tip of the iceberg. So I shared with you the reason I was at CSLCS, Center for Spiritual Living Colorado Springs last week, is my dear friend Reverend Norm Bouchard made his transition in December. Norm's first book that came out in 2006 is called 29 Questions for the Ordinary Life. And he and I went round and round and round and back and forth on that title. I said, Norm, we're all about possibility. We're all about growth. We're all about expansion. Why are you inviting people into an ordinary life? He said, David, we have to start with liking and loving and being comfortable in our ordinary life before we can step into the extraordinary. So that was Norm's version for his book, and that was how he created curiosity. So I invite you, my friends, Unitics Unite in the room and online, and those who are new to our teaching, as we join together in envisioning a world where each and every person discovers their own personal power. Secondly, when our desire to know more becomes stronger than fear of the unknown, we're compelled to find a way. We can lean into our conviction that the universe is for us. And if that is the case, if the universe is for us, no one and nothing can be against us, right? That is the truth. We can lean into our conviction and lean into our faith and allow our fear to be transformed into excitement. That is our journey. Our journey is fear to faith. In the book, Power of an Idea, it's written, these thoughts, ideas, feelings, hopes, expectations, doubts, fears, and faiths make up that thing within us which is attracting or repelling certain experiences. So what does your human mind say that you want? What does your human mind say that you're calling in? I'd love a relationship. I'd love to win the $700 million lotto. P.S. Don't buy a ticket, we're gonna win, so. Right? What is your human mind thinking that you want and need? And I invite you into the consciousness then about your words and actions and just checking in on yourself to seeing if all of that is in sync. This is what I think I want, and, oh, well, the chances are 1 in a billion. I'm not even going to buy a ticket. Well, you can't win if you don't play, right? So too with life. What are you saying, what are you thinking, and what are you doing, and how are you showing up? Desire becomes stronger than fear. Again, with the Up With People reference for me, I was accepted to travel right after high school. So I graduated, and then a month later, I was in Tucson meeting 500 people from all of these countries, and we were going to tour around the world and live with people in their homes and do musical performances wherever we traveled. Some of my friends, and particularly my 2 grandmothers, were like, honey, we love you and we support you and we know that's going to be mind expanding. And aren't you afraid? What if you're with a family in some part of the world and something happens? What if you're up there doing a big show on TV somewhere or performing for a pope or a prince and you forget the words? Or you fall during your dance, or you have a wardrobe malfunction and your costume falls off. And I said, Graham, I haven't had this experience yet. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and your life experience with me. And that is not my story. And to be sure, every single one of those things happened. I won't bore you with the details, but grandmas know stuff. And I was in the frame of mind of this is an educational organization. Everything that happens is going to be educational for me. If I'm not in a place of danger, then in the end it's going to be okay. So that is how I pursued that particular opportunity. Thirdly, then, as we grow and expand our knowledge of the world, we grow our personal power. Does that make sense? The more, like the old public service announcement said, the more you know. The more we know, the more it supports us. Now, I'm not telling you what to be curious about. I'm just encouraging you to continue to be curious. You know, Rick and I are fans of Jeopardy. We rarely get to watch it live. And when we watch the recordings, I'll pop up with an answer or two. He'll pop up with an answer or two. And then at some point, we'll both say the same answer. And we look at each other and we say, how did we know that? You know, it's not necessarily something that either one of us studied. And somehow, through race consciousness, through, call it what you will, somehow we grokked it from the universe. We got the information that we needed to get. So I just encourage you to be in that place of openness and receptivity. And one of my mantras is, no experience is a bad experience unless I fail to learn from it. And I wish I could tell you I had that one mastered. Stay tuned. So with that point of expanding our knowledge in the world, I think I shared with you that my late partner and I were together 18 years, and he had a heart attack and was gone. His name was Harry, and I lived a year in Seattle when I was in the corporate world, and I can't tell you how many invitations we got because people thought we were the Harry and David, but we're not. We were the other Harry and David. When we grow our knowledge of the world, that is when things expand, when we're able to take a deeper dive, to discover new things, to have ideas to build upon. We recognize God in everything. We recognize the one power, the one presence, however you define it, is in, around, and through it all, even and especially when people show up in interesting ways. I invoked Harry. He made his transition in March of 2006. And in April of 2006, one of the things we did really well together that we love to do is travel. So he passed in March. In April, we had scheduled a 3-week river cruise on the Volga River in Russia, one of the largest rivers in Europe, indeed in the world. And I was going back and forth and round, and do I go, and should I stay home, and blah, blah, blah. And eventually I got to the space where, I can be happy or I can be unhappy, and yeah, I'm probably going to cry, and I might as well cry on a river cruise than cry in my bedroom at home. So we were traveling with some dear friends, with our friends Jim and Gail, and I said, they said they were giving me space. You can do whatever you want. There's no bad. There's no wrong. I said, I'm going to go. So our plan was to meet on the ship. So I flew from Denver to Moscow to wherever I landed in Russia by myself, that on the trip I was supposed to be on with my partner, and boarded the ship and ran into my friends. And it was a small river cruise, 35 people, and it was a glorious experience. Another group that was on the cruise, it was 12 or 15 people, retired U.S. Foreign Service. So these folks had traveled all over the world. They had lived all over the world, got to be really good pals with this beautiful man named Clay, and he wanted to know everything about us, and he wanted to soak stuff in. And years later, I invited him to one of my big birthday parties out here, and we hadn't been in touch regularly for a while, and Clay flew out here, the consummate Southern gentleman who had assignments in Vietnam and Turkey and all over Latin America. He chose to come out for my birthday party when he didn't know a soul except me. I said, Clay, thank you. That meant the world to me, or means the world to me. Help me understand your process. How did you get here? How did that come to be? He said, David, Mama always said, go when you're invited. Now, isn't that a wonderful attitude of consciousness? I don't know about you. Sometimes I get wound up in, well, I'm not going to know anybody. Well, I'm tired. Well, I've done too much this week. And Clay says, Go where you're invited. Another one of his colleagues, a husband and wife team, they on the ship, on the cruise, they were studying Icelandic because they have a favorite author and they wanted to read his poems in the original language. Again, I'm working my way through English. Let me know how Icelandic goes for you. But you see, that is that curiosity. That is what is being open is all about. I also really appreciate the work of the writer, of the commentator David Brooks. In his book, Second Mountain, he writes, "To openness, curiosity, and reverence, there's an instant freshness of perception, a desire to approach and affiliate. To feel wonder in the face of beauty is to be grandly astonished." Hear, hear. So as we look at curiosity as our superpower, I would just encourage you to be willing to look below the surface. What else might be true? You know, when I did my scuba diving work here in Colorado, I did my open water dives. One of the first years we went to Aruba. And when I was doing my open water work here, we were in a swimming pool. And one of the skills, all the divers can relate to this, one of the skills that you have to master is while you're underwater, you have to take your mask off. You have to flood your mask and then clear it while you're underwater so you can see again. That's just a basic skill that all divers are supposed to be able to know how to do. Well, at that particular time, I was wearing hard contact lenses. And I just knew, I'm gonna flood my mask, my eyes are gonna go floating away, and it's not gonna be a happy thing. And as I worked through that a little bit, a friend said, "David, yeah, get out of my head. What if you closed your eyes?" See, sometimes we can't get out of our own way. I was so clear that this was going to be a hurdle that I couldn't get over, and all I had to do was close my eyes, and I tried it, and it worked. And going forward, then I learned that there are all kinds of options. You can get your glasses prescription in a mask if you're really committed to diving, and you can do so many other things. And look below the surface. What else might be true? Also, I invite you to consider revel in new discoveries and the beauty they bring. I have been so fortunate and so in awe of the many conversations that I've been able to have with so many of you already. They have been great. They have been informational. I'm really grateful for your counsel. I had one of those opportunities this past week. Susan Anderson invited me to tour West Side Cares, an organization that you all have supported in this community for a long time. Not being of Colorado Springs, I wasn't familiar, and I said yes. So Susan and I met, and she and Dwayne volunteered there. And the director of volunteers introduced herself, took us on a tour. They wanted us there during their open hours so we could see people coming and going and utilizing their services. And for me, that was such a glorious growth opportunity to revel in new discoveries. Dr. Ernest Holmes writes, "The first step in overcoming any fear is to concede that God is for us." I recognize that that's a major shift for those who have ever played a victim role. I was wronged. They did me wrong. It wasn't my fault. I was in the wrong place. I got a whole list. Maybe we can compare someday. And what if I switched that? What if I said, God is always conspiring for my good. The universe always has my back. That's a change in thinking. Holmes continues, "This done, we have at once overcome the fear by seeing that there is nothing to be afraid of. The world is all right, and we can meet it on its own terms." Third, then, I would invite you to consider to have the courage to lay aside the fear. What if you chose to get excited about the unknown? Thank you all for being here today. This was really unknown, and I hope you were excited and not, oh, what in the world is he going to do to us? So what if we got excited about the unknown? I was sharing recently that Michael Beckwith and Roger Teal, the two founders of the Association for Global New Thought, invited me years ago to join the Leadership Council of the Association for Global New Thought. And I was like, me. I had a little bit of imposter syndrome going on. What is this about? Why are you reaching out to me? I have nothing to offer you people. You are my gurus, blah, 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 right? I was arguing for my own limitations. They put it in writing. They said why they wanted me to join. They said, consciousness and management and et cetera. And I kept thinking, oh no. So I had a number of conversations with people, finally decided that it would be okay. They welcomed me with open arms. One of our first quarterly meetings for the Association for Global New Thought, the first one that I participated in, Michael Beckwith hosted at Agape. Well, like many of you, I certainly have heard and known of Michael for years. I had heard and known of Agape. I had never been in the physical space. The first time I stepped into Michael Beckwith's church, I was on the platform speaking beside him. What? And again, arguing for my limitations. That was wrong on so many levels. You're Michael Beckwith. I'm just me. And I'm like, David, let's get over that. Let's grow through that edge. The second meeting I attended was hosted by Jim Blake, Reverend Jim Blake. Jim is the CEO of Unity Worldwide Headquarters. He's responsible for all of Unity Village. Unity Village is its own city. It has its own mayor, it has its own council, it has its own water department and zip code, 50-room hotel, 9-hole golf course, homes of the Fillmores, and so forth. And Jim hosted our AG&T group. And so the second AG&T meeting I spoke at, I was on the platform at the Unity Village Chapel with Michael Beckwith and Jim Blake. What? So you see, my friends, the imposter syndrome is just that. You are living your best and your fullest life. You are doing it better than anybody else can. So be gentle with yourself, love it, step into it, be in that space of what if, be in that space of creation. And again, you can co-create anything with the divine, because the divine knows and sees you as who you are. And that is one of the things that I so appreciate and love about this community, is we see you. We don't need or want you to be anything different than who you are. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, at this point, for getting up. And thank you for being with us in this loving and oh, so powerful community. Finally, then, I would just leave you with, I shared that I did my pool and my classroom work for my scuba certification here. Then I did my open water dive in Aruba. And the first time I got underwater, I had this thought of, this is what it must be like to be in an aquarium. So again, I'm limiting myself to a 5 or a 10 or 100-gallon container, and I'm in the frickin' Caribbean Ocean. And my mind hadn't had the opportunity, hadn't had the context, hadn't been engaged to think that this isn't what it's like to be swimming in an aquarium. This is what it's like to be a sentient being in the sea, to be in the ocean. And that, in my humble thinking, is where the term "the world is our oyster" comes from, which leads us into next week. But anyway, is it are you swimming in an aquarium, or are you swimming in the ocean? Curiosity is a superpower. It is yours. You own it, you have it. As you choose to, I invite you into the space of reawakening it, because I know that it serves you, it serves us, and it serves the greater good. Please join me in prayer. And if our chaplain prayer partners would please stand and join me in consciousness. How good it is to be in that place of curiosity, to be in that place of wonder, to be in that place of awe, to be in that place of what if. To be in that place of creation, to be in that place of, I'm not in 100% alignment with where I am in this moment. I choose to co-create with the divine a different experience for myself. And I bless you in that. It is good, it is healthy, it is positive, it is well-intended and well done. And I say yes on your behalf. I say yes to curiosity. Some might offer, curiosity killed the cat. I would counter, good thing the cat had 9 lives. So as we engage in that process then, let us be curious from a heart space of wanting to know, of wanting to engage, of wanting to grow. And I say yes. I offer the cosmic yes on behalf of each and every one of us. I say thank you, Spirit. I know all is well. Curiosity abounds. Life is good. And so it is. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now, my friends, we move into that space of conscious giving, allowing you to support this extraordinary community and all of the work that we do in the world. So there are so many different ways to offer your gifts and your tithes and your offerings. We have text to give, which are Steve, one of our experts in so many things, would be happy to have a conversation with you if you'd like to set that up. We humbly accept your offerings in the sanctuary. We can do automatic deposit, automatic gifts, any way that might work for you. We would love to have the conversation with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you would please join me in our affirmation of prosperity in abundance. There we are. There we are. Thank you. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you'll soon know. Don't worry when or where or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out, just stay right here in the now. Just enjoy your life for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you're out there just having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing things. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things.
If I could invite our ushers forward. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you for your service. How grateful we are for the generosity shown and expressed, for the curiosity known and expressed. We simply say, thank you, Spirit. All is well. God is magnificent. And so it is. So a couple of new elements you heard me express during the town hall meeting, the couple of things that I wanted to bring forward, and I'm grateful for your support. One is a blessing for the children. And the reason we're doing that, of course, is to bless the children and to create the container right here in Unity in the Rockies to invite more giant souls with short legs into our space. Right? So we were going to be offering our children's blessing. If you join me in rubbing your hands together and just getting that energy flowing, and we will hold it and put it out to the universe, please join me. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine beings you are. And so it is. And just a couple of reminders then. As we move toward the conclusion of our service, our prayer chaplains are always available to pray with you today and throughout the week. Whether you're in a place of celebration or challenge, please take advantage of this wonderful opportunity. As well, we're happy to report that the prayer box is back. Written prayer requests can be placed in the prayer box at any time. And finally, another new element, if you'd like to continue the conversation on today's topic, look for a list of discussion questions on the tables in the fellowship hall. You can keep doing exactly what you've been doing before, and that's perfect. And if you want to take a bit of a deeper dive, we invite you into those study questions for your conversation. And now, as we move toward our closing song, I invite you to please stay in your rows and join hands as you choose for our peace song. Please go in power, go in peace. Honey. Hey, sweetheart, good to see you.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. With there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God, our Creator, family, all are we. in perfect